Good morning friends. Today we are going to discuss Kurian Alagh committee report. Uh, Before starting the lecture, I want to give you two suggestions that recently we observed that your attendance is declining day by day. This is not good as a student of DG college. Number one. Number two, your internal evaluation should be made on the basis of your attendance. And that's why your oral examination and internal examination marks should be allotted on the basis of your attendance. Please attend all the lectures. Now we are going to discuss Kurian Alagh committee report. While considering Kurian Alagh committee report, we must have to consider in 2004 we have completed 100 years for Indian cooperative movement, and for discussing Indian cooperative movement, whichever progress we have made since 1904 to 1989, whichever progress we have made, statistically and quantitatively we have made the progression, but qualitatively we are lagging behind. And in the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government has decided that this situation of cooperative movement in India is not good for qualitative development, and for that purpose in 1999 central government has appointed Kurian and YK Alagh committee for taking a review of various cooperative institutions working in India. While discussing the progression of cooperative development in our country, especially Kurian Alagh committee's recommendations are related to the productive and distribution cooperative institutions. And for this purpose, in 1999, government has appointed this committee, and this committee has taken review of variety of cooperative institutions developed in India since 1904, and after all, why the cooperative institutions are lagging behind as compared to private institutions and companies. And professionalism has to be developed among the cooperative institutions, and for that purpose this committee has made some recommendations. The committee has submitted his report on 15th March 2002, and in the report committee has made some of these suggestions or recommendations. While considering the recommendation made by Kurian Alagh committee, we may have to consider first recommendation: cooperative institution should work as a business unit, and that cooperative institution has to achieve the public trust. This is most important recommendation laid down by Kurian Alagh committee. Friends, whichever progress we have made since 1904 to 1988, it means up to the appointment of Kurian and Alagh committee, and committee also suggested that since 1991 we have adopted new economy policy, and which is based on globalization, privatization and liberalization. Within the changing nature of environment, world environment and Indian environment, cooperative institutions should work as a business unit, and all the business works on the basis of profit, and cooperative unit should focus on the profit also. It doesn't mean that 100% profit or maximum profit should be earned by cooperative unit, but the motive of profit should not take alive. We do not neglect the point of profit, and that's why business ethics should be obeyed by cooperative units. And after all, when cooperative institution should work as a business unit, when each and every cooperative institution works in India should obtain the public trust. After getting the public response, public support, and for taking public support, cooperative institutions management should be changed. The total management, faulty management, defective management should be changed, and after purifying the environment of cooperative management, we can achieve the goal of cooperative institution as a business unit and public trust. And that's why This recommendation of Kurian Alagh committee is most important. Second recommendation is any cooperative unit does not transfer its original issue without permission of board of directors. In between, since 1970, the problem arises among the management of cooperative institutions, particularly cooperative banking, primary cooperative societies, as well as district central cooperative banks, state cooperative banks, marketing cooperative institutions. Several cooperative units are running in losses, and that's why merging scheme has been started since 1970. But according to Kurian Alagh committee, any cooperative unit does not merge or transfer its original issue to new one institution without permission of board of director. It means board of director can take the decisions regarding the transfer of original capital of one SIC unit to another one unit. Merging is not a way of purifying cooperative development, purifying cooperative unit, purifying cooperative institution, cooperative movement, and that's why this recommendation is most important regarding the development of cooperative institutions. Next one, cooperative unit should work as a productive unit. Third one, most important thing we may have to consider here, as we have decided that cooperative movement works for the betterment of common man, poor people, and poor people's development is depend upon how the cooperative unit works, and total development of cooperative unit is based on the basis of business motive, and when business motive should be obtained by any cooperative unit, the production and productive units number should be increased, and that's why any cooperative unit should work as a productive unit when each and every unit which works in variety of sectors, cooperative marketing, cooperative credit, cooperative dairy cooperatives, and any other fisheries cooperatives. All these cooperative institutions unit should work as a productive unit. They may have to maintain the business motive. They may have to focus on the development of poor people. They may have to focus on the welfare of the members. When these objectives, these goals should be taken into consideration by each and every unit, that unit can work as a productive unit. When each and every unit should consider that we have to develop cooperative institutions on larger scale as a productive unit, the development takes place for the betterment of common man. Next one recommendation of Kurian Alagh committee is newly formed cooperative unit can use modern principles of company law. Just I told you that cooperative institutions since 1990-91, within the new environment of LPG policy, cooperative institutions should adopt modern principle of company law. It means as a private company, we may have to adopt the business motive. When new cooperative unit should be established, that unit should run on the basis of modern principles of company law, and when these principles should be obeyed by all the units, the cooperative management should recover its problems, and whichever lacunas, whichever defects arise in cooperative unit, different type of cooperative unit of different type of cooperative institution should disappear. And that's why within the modern age, within the global environment, changing global environment, newly formed cooperative unit also take into consideration the modern principles of company law, which have a base of business unit as a business motive, as a profit motive, as a competitive unit, and when cooperative unit should work as a competitive unit, that can be beneficial for the members, beneficial for the society, beneficial for the country also. Next one recommendation is newly formed cooperative institution should give full freedom for decision making process. This is also most important. Committee has observed that in some states, state government and cooperative department makes the obstacles to take the decisions of cooperative unit. In this section, committee has given the recommendation that newly formed cooperative institution also given full freedom regarding the decision making process, and these decisions should be based on productive unit. These decisions should be based on the newly changing environment which has globalization, privatization and liberalization. Within the changing nature of global environment, cooperative institutions should given the freedom, and that's why though the cooperation is the subject under state government or cooperative department cannot make any restrictions to take the decisions of development of cooperative institutions by the board of directors. Board of directors should given the freedom, and state government or any other institution, any other upper institution cannot make the obstacles behind it. Next one recommendation is without permission of cooperative department, whichever decisions have to be taken by the cooperative institutions should be given the freedom. This is related to newly as well as existing cooperative units, and these units should be considered clearly for the betterment of common man. And last one recommendation is 2/3 majority of board of director is necessary for merging cooperative unit to international cooperative alliance. It means while discussing the development of cooperative institution, while enhancing the competitiveness among the cooperative institutions, it is greater need to take the decisions properly as well as particularly for SIC units. When we take the decision regarding the merging of one unit to another unit, 2/3 majority of board of directors is necessary. Cooperative institutions are working on the democratic base, and within the democratic control, each and every member of cooperative institution has a right to take the participation in the decision making process, and that's why 2/3 majority board of director, members of board of directors are the representatives of the members, and that's why without without 2/3 majority of board of directors permission, we cannot merge cooperative unit, one cooperative unit to another unit as well as to the international cooperative alliance for taking the guidance regarding the international cooperative alliance. In this way, the various recommendations laid down by Kurian Alagh committee, these recommendations are related to the qualitative development of cooperative institutions. Secondly, we may have to consider here, focus on the Kurian Alagh committee report that management of the cooperative institution should be revised. Third one, most important thing we may have to consider, since 1991 we have adopted new economic policy. Within the new environment of globalization, privatization and liberalization, cooperative movement should work as a productive unit. Business motive should be taken into consideration by cooperative unit, and that's why the freedom should be given to the board of director. Freedom should be given to the staff of the cooperative institutions, and state government as well as cooperative department should take minimum interference to the development of cooperative institutions. State government and cooperative department should give guidelines to the cooperative institution. They cannot interfere the decision making process of cooperative unit, and cooperative unit should work systematically, and for systematic cooperative units, which type of management is necessary regarding the management of cooperative institutions, Kurian Alagh committee's report is most important. And in this connection, we may have to consider the Kurian Alagh committee. Intention of Kurian Alagh committee is to purify the atmosphere in which cooperative institutions are working, number one. Number two, whichever SIC units are working in rural as well as urban areas of India, it should be the situation should be changed. For changing nature of such type of situation, Kurian Alagh committee's focus on the management of the cooperative institutions. Management of cooperative institutions should be purified. When we become successful for purifying the management of the cooperative institutions, automatically productive as well as business motive should be enhanced among the cooperative institutions, and that's why upper level cooperative institutions, board of directors duty, board of directors awareness as well as responsibility should be taken by board of director. Each and every member of board of directors should take care about the efficiency of the cooperative unit, and for this purpose we may have to consider the recommendations of Kurian Alagh committee report, and this report is most important for developing the cooperative institution, cooperative movement in a developing country like India on large scale, and efficiency should be enhanced after fulfilling the needs of purifying the mismanagement of the cooperative institution. When we purify the management, when we reconstruct the management of the cooperative institution, when board of directors should aware about the development of cooperative institutions, automatically the development takes place and each and every unit of variety of cooperative institutions should develop. For 21st century, whichever recommendations have been made by Kurian Alagh committee are most important, and for that purpose we may have to taken into consideration these recommendations for the management of the cooperative institution and future development of the cooperative institutions in our country. Thanks.